Hello everybody, Shazoo's here. I'm out here in my mad science laboratory, and before I turn this thing on, I'll share a little bit of what makes it work. Let me get across here without flipping that switch and electrocuting myself. Anyway, this is my plasma reactor, and it works on the basic principle as a microwave magnetron. And inside a microwave magnetron, it has your two wires that go in, and it's like essentially like a tungsten element inside there, like a regular light bulb would have. Whenever you flip your power on, you see the little light bulb element in the center of the vacuum of the bulb itself light up. Well, on the back half of the magnetron, you have a magnet. And so what's happening is when you put 2,000 kilovolts to the back of this magnetron, it heats up that element, and the heat releases electrons inside this vacuum, and the magnetic field from the first magnet begins to spin the electrons around, building up pressure inside there. Of course, you're going to need a place for the electrons to escape, so you got a second magnet on the front of the magnetron that literally attracts the electrons through this direction and then out the antenna, which is down inside of here right there. Anyway, that's basic simples of a microwave magnetron. Essentially, a magnetron is a particle accelerator. And so with that said, I created this deal using some cheap copper-coated tin and some neodymium magnets, or neodymium, however you want to pronounce it. But if you notice on this side, let me see if I can get that on the video. I can't tell if that's lightening up for you or not. Alright, well, on this side you have the North Pole, and on this side you have the South Pole. Well, so, and at the very bottom down here, there's another set of magnets which are north or south on this side, north on that side. And so essentially what's happening, I'm firing a 20,000 kilovolt oil burner igniter into what I'm calling my plasma chamber, which is essentially an old burnout bulb with some argon gas in there. And so the energy comes into there, energizes the argon gas, and the magnets begin to swirl it around inside there. And then the energy goes back out the other end down into the primary coil of my transformer right here. And then from there, it goes back into the bulb and keeps making a loop into the plasma chamber, building up energy the longer you leave it running. And so I have a primary coil, a secondary coil, my plasma chamber, and it's being run by a 12,000 volt oil burner, or a 20,000 kilovolt oil burner igniter. So I'm gonna get back over here on the other side and do some adjustments, and then show you this. Alrighty. Lower this down here a little bit. This is also running off of the same 12 volt car battery with one dead cell that we've been talking about. I'm going to go ahead and fire this thing up right here. And you'll right out of the gate you can notice the plasma build up inside there. Let me see if I can zoom in on this thing. If I can find the deal here. Okay. You can see quite a substantial plasma buildup. I don't know that you can see it via the video itself, but it's actually swirling around inside there. Okay, that's apparently as far as I can zoom in. Alright, well, let me see if I can move the camera here for a second. I can't get my camera too close to it because the field keeps getting stronger the longer it's on. Doggone it. Sorry about the dizzy spell. Okay, let me zoom back out here. Sorry about the rough ride, folks. Doggone it. Let me kill a light or two here. See if you can get a better view of that plasma. Okay, I'm zooming back out. Alrighty, and just like this is a combination of microwave concepts and Tesla technology using a primary and a secondary, and Tesla's theory about baiting electrons out of the earth. I have 4 separate spark gaps on there that I can hook to capacitors to charge up capacitors, but in the meantime I want you to try to see if you can see this white light down here. It's a pretty high voltage. That's just coming off of the core alone, and then off of the secondary. Let me see if I can get in there better. Zoom in. Okay, here's the core. You look real close, you can see the white arc down in there. It's trying to weld itself to the core. This is off the primary side. Oh, well, I guess I got to get that up there where you can see that. This is off the primary coil. Sure can smell the ozone up in here. Let me see if I can tilt this enough and you can see that spark gap. There's 2 spark gaps on this side and 2 spark gaps on the opposite side. Of course, I haven't got it connected to any capacitors at the moment, but this is only the first and second stage of the project here. So on the back half, front half. Well, let me zoom out again. Doggone it. Don't know how much of that you actually got to see. That's on the back half. On the front half. Just hovering up there in the air. Ah! So you can see the energy. Pretty good. It has a pretty good field around there. Alright, well, anyway, the basics of the whole thing is that I'm attempting to use plasma to store a buttload of electrons and charge up a primary and a secondary coil, and then I'll explain whenever I get further into the program here. I'll explain in the next video the next couple phases of this process. Basically, it'll lead down into where you can either boil water instantly, like using a carbon arc, or just a hydrogen on demand system. I don't know if you can actually see inside that chamber right there, but the plasma is getting stronger the longer it stays running. And you should be able to, I'm hoping you can see the energy spiraling inside there because of the magnetic fields that's on both sides and underneath down there. But there it is, folks. That's a sneak peek at the Shiziz plasma reactor. There's a guy out there named Keshi who's doing pretty much the same type of experiments, and there's other people out there working on plasma reactors dealing with hydrogen as well. And when I get mine perfected and all the stages to it done, then I'll show you that as well. But this is the beginning of it, and I wanted you to see it in progress as it goes, and then I'll explain to you and get you the diagrams you need to build it yourself if you like. But there it is, people. Peace and love, everybody. Stay tuned, because it's going to get good. I got a lot of projects in the works, and I think you're going to be pleased if you stick around long enough to find out what it is old Shiziz is up to. Take care.